Hello, BookTube. Well, it's that melancholy moment, more melancholy than usual. This is our last mail haul of the week. And it's more melancholy than usual because it's also the last mail haul of 2017. So we've got 4 packages here. We'll have to hope that they're worth it. This first one has an Amazon signal on it, and I don't think I've ordered anything from Amazon. So it could be either one of two things. Either a gift from one of you, in which case this has gotten totally out of hand. I got a gift certificate to Rattle. I've been giving gifts for the last week. Or it's a self-published author who's ordered a copy of their own book to be sent to me from Amazon. An author did that just recently. We talked about it on this channel. I not only talked about the book, but I also gave a review of it, which is something I very seldom do book reviews on this channel. And that author was very happy with the result. The attention, I mean, the review was even-handed. It wasn't just a gush. But the author was very happy, and I can understand that because self-published authors really want all the attention that they can get for their works. The one thing they sacrifice by taking the self-published route is that they opt out of the massive publicity machine that bigger publishers have. So it could be that in 2019, self-published authors will, as they come to notice this channel, will send me their books. I don't really know. We shall see. Oh, okay. Oh my. No, it's not either one of those things. I mean, it is. It is one of those things. Oh my. Oh, how nice. I was complaining the other day that my BookTube notebook was completely full. My 2018 BookTube notebook is completely full, and I have no other BookTube notebook. And somebody sent me a selection of little notebooks off Amazon. Isn't that something? Oh, how nice! God help us. You people are the nicest people in the world. All right, well, I have a stack of little notebooks now. Okay, that's a fine way to start a mail haul. All right, let's move on here. All right, I have little notebooks now. It looks like one per month for the first half of the year. Let's see what this next one is. Okay, this is by Duncan Ryukin Williams, and it is American Sutra, a story of faith and freedom in the Second World War. Something tells me I know what that cover is. Most histories of Japanese Americans in World War II, and most accounts of the Japanese American experience more broadly, flounder when it comes to religion. There are a number of explanations. Most Americans lack familiarity with the Japanese language and Japanese language sources, and many early and influential advocates for the civil rights for Japanese Americans embraced a strategy that stressed equality before the law and downplayed cultural and religious difference. But most importantly, we have often sensibly focused their accounts of the roles in race and immigration because these two threads that run through the entirety of the history of the United States. But so does religion. And despite the fact that it played a crucial role in Japanese American experience, and despite the fact that ideas about religious difference underlie the injustices that Japanese Americans experienced both before and during World War II, no historian has yet told this story. Okay, I don't know what that means. No Japanese American citizen was interned because of religion. The author's American Sutra tells a religious history of Buddhism in Japanese America during the Second World War. Oh, that sounds fascinating. He shows the way in which religious difference was linked to racial difference in the minds of most Americans, and demonstrates that the Japanese American civil rights movement during the World War II was not simply a fight against racial discrimination, but also for religious freedom. Okay, that's totally new to me. That's great. I'll learn a lot. So this is a pub sheet without a date. This comes out in February. American Sutra. Okay. All right, that's a new subject to me. Let's move on. Let's keep going. What's this next one? Oh boy. Oh, fantastic. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. All right, this comes out in May, and this is by Nigel Hamilton. This is War and Peace, FDR's Final Odyssey, D-Day to Yalta, 1943 to 1945. So this is yet another volume. Doesn't say it. It doesn't describe itself that way. This is yet another volume of the type that we've seen, I think, 4 examples of in the last 3 years, of FDR, The Final Years. Wow. And by Nigel Hamilton, who I love. He just he can do no wrong when it comes to writing historical prose. I'm not sure that I would agree if I had been his publicist. I'm not sure I would agree with titling a book War and Peace. But let's see. This is the 3rd and final volume in Nigel Hamilton's epic account of how Franklin Roosevelt won World War II as Commander-in-Chief. His first volume, The Mantle of Command, told the story from the defeat at Pearl Harbor to the triumphant U.S. invasion of North Africa in 1942. The book was longlisted for the National Book Award. The second volume, Commander-in-Chief, told the story from the President's historic trip to Casablanca to a great Allied invasion of Sicily and Italy. War and Peace continues the saga of World War II after those invasions. It opens dramatically as FDR travels in the fall of 1943 by sea and air to Persia to stop Churchill from sabotaging his plans and timing for D-Day. This will be Dr. Hamilton's last big book he undertakes, and has taken a decade to complete. It has been very familiar for him to write because he had a very special connection to the central thread of the trilogy, D-Day. Dr. Hamilton's father landed on D-Day as a very strong British infantry battalion commander. He got to know the commander of the Allied land forces intimately when he was a student in England, and later wrote his biography in 3 volumes, the Montgomery Trilogy, as well as making a major BBC documentary. And uniquely, Dr. Hamilton was the last person alive outside the Churchill family to have stayed with Sir Winston and Lady Churchill at Chartwell, together with Field Marshal Montgomery, who shared with him the story of his relationship with Sir Winston in the lead-up to D-Day and beyond. This last epic book by Dr. Hamilton is the story every American will be proud of. Okay. Well, I mean, it's great. I'm very glad to have the book, but why? Why is this going to be the last book? Why is this going to be Hamilton's last book? That's no mention. He's best-selling and award-winning biographer of John F. Kennedy, John Montgomery, President Clinton, among other subjects. He's a senior fellow at the McCormick Graduate School, University of Massachusetts, Boston. Okay. Well, that's rather ominous. I'll have to read up and see why that would be. But one way or another, this comes out in May. I can't wait. This has been a great series. So, wonderful. Little ominous note there. His last great book. That I wasn't aware that was the case. Now I'm curious in a nosy kind of way. But anyway, let's finish up. This is our last book in the mail of 2018. What have we got here? This is April, and this is by Mieke Irkens, All Ships Follow Me, a family memoir of war across 3 continents. During World War II, the author's father, as a child, was an intern in a Japanese concentration camp. Good Lord, that's a coincidence. In the Dutch East Indies, and meanwhile, her mother's parents in the Netherlands were arrested as Nazi collaborators, and her mother sent to a children's home. In this moving and complex examination of the ripple effects of war, the author explores her own family's journey on both sides and grapples with terms such as victim and perpetrator, survivor guilt, and camp syndrome that she feels aren't enough. Her epic memoir spans continents and generations as she attempts to understand and fill the blanks in her heritage. Interesting. Okay, fantastic. All Ships Follow Me. So this is an April release and a war memoir. So we're pretty heavily World War II here. We have a war memoir of World War II. We have a War and Peace, which is FDR winning World War II for America, and we have American Sutra about the fight for Japanese religious freedom in World War II. So that's a pretty World War II-centric mail haul. Plus, an array of little notebooks that are going to come in very handy. So I'm very grateful that my whining and complaining got me that. Thank you very much. So we'll wrap this up for now. That is the end of an endless stream of mail haul videos. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. I love opening my mail with you. So I'll wrap this up, but we will see each other again. Thank you, BookTube.